Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
Here it is.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
I was gonna add more, but then
Kimbo,
I totally
aka the traveling chafing queen.
yeah, right? Okay.
Sexy
She was like, I got this.
sustainability.
Hi, TikTok.
Meditate,
Hi, friend.
masturbate, medicate.
Rick Dog, you want to give us like a,
Yeah, you ready?
like a, oh yeah, we can start.
We'll do it. We're rolling. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, 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 everyone out there. Welcome back to Kimbology. It's your girl Kimbo here. And if you guys are watching us in the visuals, hi. And you guys see that is not Becky there, but we have a guest, and it's amazing because we have Bailey from Candle Tit in the building. Brr, 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 brr. So I'm really excited, guys. Today I wanted to bring Bailey on because I wanted her to share a little bit more about her business and what she does, and she's really fucking cool. I mean, we've been chilling. We're like having wine. My cat Georgie's obsessed with her already. So yeah. So Bailey, do you want to say hi to the audience and just say who you are and more about, why you're here?
Yeah, I think you'll have to get into the story of how we came here. But
Yes,
yeah, I'm
yes.
Bailey. I'm the owner of Candle Tit LLC, Chicago-based business. I do custom molding sessions, which we did.
We just
earlier
did.
today, so we'll talk a
Yeah.
bit about that. Of people's breasts and chests, and then I turn them into candles, hence the name Candle Tit. And
Love
then I
it.
do a lot of other artwork like resin, food safe molds, all around breasts and chest. So you can get custom ones done, or you can buy other people's on my website or at my events. And then I have some fun apparel, which we are repping today.
You guys, get into these sweaters that we're wearing. They say diverse titties on it. It's so great.
And then I also have t-shirts conveniently here too.
Yeah.
That's
The
great.
t-shirts are cute as fuck too.
Inclusivity, which you probably can't see.
Oh, inclusivity, y'all. That's fucking cute. Okay, I'm gonna put it in order because I have people that definitely need all of this. So, yeah, and the funny thing is, I want to go over the story because funny thing is, I fell in love with this sweater because shout out to my nail technician, beautician, Angela, who was wearing this during one of our she was doing my nails, and I was like, bitch, this sweater is super fucking cute. Like, where'd you get it? And, shout out to my girl Angela. I love her. She was just like, yeah, girl, I don't know. I was at one of these events and it was cute. And she like didn't tell me what the business was. She just was like, I think she saw you at like Wicker Park Fest or some sort of fest that you were popping up in, and saw it, thought it was cute, bought the sweater. I was like, I'm obsessed. I need it. Can you tell me where you bought it? She gave me her website. I didn't even look at what it was about. I just
read
bought
the
the
name
sweater.
of the website or anything on the homepage. You just went straight for the titty sweatshirt.
I literally was like, I need this sweatshirt. I'm buying it, and I bought it. And then it was funny because I remember like, oh my god, okay, like that sweater. And then I ran into you at Exotica because she was popping up there. And if you guys don't know, Exotica is, it's a sex entertainment like expo that involves everything sex work related. And so your business, and you're going to dive deeper into with all the more like, because to be honest with you, like I was really impressed because I was just like, first of all, I thought it was just a sweater, and then when I saw her at Exotica with the sweaters and the logos, I literally was like, oh, I just bought a sweater. I bought that, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, like it's coming. You're like, it's coming, but then I was like, wait, your business is Candle Tits? Like I just didn't know, and then. Yeah, literally, guys, like you can have your boobs, your tits, be candles. Isn't that like
you get like all the little details too is the cool part. It's not just like an abstract breast. Like you get all the little details of your stretch marks, skin, moles, anything. It's pretty detailed.
Really cool, really well. And then so obviously you being at Exotic was perfect. Because, there's many sex workers there where people go, they want to visit their favorite sex worker, their favorite, person that they've been watching. They're like, oh my God, how cool would it be if they can like go home with a candle that's their tit. I'm like, that's cool. That's really cool. So, actually, we just did a session not too long ago. So Bailey came over and she did this whole process on me. Can you break that down a little bit more about like the process of like making the candle?
Yeah.
We would love to know.
Absolutely. So basically I come to my clients' homes, like this lovely human here, and it's about a 2-hour session. We do silicone is the first layer. It's skin safe. We do a couple layers of that, and then we do a few layers of plaster cast, which is like the mother mold in the art world is what you called it. And then I take the mold home and I kind of like zhuzh it up, make sure it's really strong and sturdy and will last the rest of your life. Because when you're working with real humans, sometimes it's hard to tell like the density of the silicone.
Got you. Rick Dog. Oh, he's gone. I was like, give it to me. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, and for these molds, it's important to have them be really sturdy and evenly distributed with silicone because I make the candles out of them, and so it's a very heat intense process. So
We're
so
good.
we can do the candles, we can do resin, which is cool because it's kind of like a glass. If you've worked with it before, you can put things in it. You can put flour, you can put weed leaves, you can put sparkles or anything like that. We can do food safe silicone molds. This isn't food safe, but we can make a food safe mold to make your own chocolates and jellos.
I love that, guys. You can make like little chocolate titties, literally. I mean, so if you guys are watching the visuals, like this green part is the silicone, right?
Yep.
And so she put that on me first, and then that dried, right? And then you were able to put the plaster on top of it.
Yep.
So yeah, the process was really cool. I felt like Superwoman because I had this like breastplate, like super cool. Yeah, it gave me Superwoman vibes. So it made me feel powerful. And so my question to you is like, what inspired you to start your business Candle Tit? Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, it's so funny to think back. It was kind of like one of those epiphany moments where you had like a coming to whatever moment. I was in a store in, what was it, like Lakeview in Chicago, and they had candles there of different body parts, and for whatever reason I couldn't stop thinking about it, and which was weird for me because I don't like candles.
Yeah, she doesn't like candles, guys. She's a candle company.
I've never bought candles for myself. I don't like smelly things, and so it was just weird to me, and it stood out that I was so fixated on these candles. And I was like, why? Like, what other body parts could you do? And so I was like, you could do your ears, like earwax, that would be weird, or your nose. And then I remember where I was walking in Chicago when it hit me. It was like I hit a brick wall and I was like, titties. Why don't people make candle titties? And like within 30 seconds I like, as you do as, you know, a young millennial Gen Z, you go onto Instagram and you're like, candle tit, no one's taken it. So I made the Instagram.
Nice.
And then figured out the process. This is probably my like, done a couple versions of the silicone and figured out a process that works. And then candle making, again, don't like candles, but like had to begrudgingly go through the process of figuring out how to make candles. And then the first time I made them, I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it actually just started off as like a one-off project for myself.
Okay.
And then I started telling my friends about it and showing people, and everyone was like, wait, whoa, I want mine done. Where can I buy these? And I was like, oh, maybe this is a thing. Like, I've always wanted to run a business, and if I did, I'd want it to be super fun and like lighthearted.
Yeah.
And so then when COVID happened, I was like, this is what I want to spend my time doing. I need something light and fun. And it was more, I guess 2019 is when I started it. And then it was a little tricky during COVID because so many people that I wanted to work with, like breast cancer, anyone going through breast or chest surgery, are just more higher vulnerability to, they can't get sick before they go to surgery, or they can't do their surgery, and a lot of those are tricky to schedule. Anyway, so I kind of stopped doing custom sessions for 2020 and then just focus on doing events and just seeing if people would buy other people's boob candles. And turns out they do.
So, yeah. And that's the thing is, like, you were like at Exotic, you're like, okay, like I figured, some of these sex workers, some of these people here in the entertainment, like, might have, fans that would want to take home a little customary titty, First of all, I love the fact that she is like, I hate candles, but I'm gonna have a candle business. Hilarious. But I think that's great because it's like you don't know what inspires you sometimes, And I fell in love with your company as soon as I saw it. You know what I mean? Obviously, like the shirt itself too. Like I just love the story that you stand behind it, right? Because at the end of the day, what did you say about breasts? They're body parts, right? Like, what were you?
Yeah, it's just a body part that can it can be sexualized, but that shouldn't be the default. It should just be a body part that we love and accept. And as it evolves throughout our life, we should accept and love that evolution.
Right. And then the funny thing was, like, I was like, oh my God, I was like looking at my breasts, like what I just showed you guys. And I was like, yo, like I remember when I was a kid and I was like, I wanted boobs. Like I was just like, I remember when I was like 12 years old or 11 years old and I was like, man, I really want titties, but like they're not big, And then I'm like, bitch, you just gotta wait. Like you're in your 30s now. I got tits. They came, So it's just so funny how I looked at the mold of my tits, and I was very critical too of my titties. Like I'm sure you get that a lot, or like people that were like feel a way about their tits, or like
totally, absolutely, yeah.
Like would they say like, I mean, I'm sure everybody has their own. Like, for example, like if one's bigger than the other or their areolas shaped differently.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing.
Well, at like events, I've kind of learned a lot because, I don't know, I'm a smaller chested person and I never really had issues with my chest. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot of friends who were. And so I think, I've learned a little bit through that. But doing events, I think the two most common things that I hear when they come to my table and know that I can do custom sessions is, oh my gosh, mine's too tiny. Like I wouldn't even make a candle. It would make a tea light. And it's a very like negative essence and tone, which is heartbreaking. And then on the other spectrum, it's, oh my gosh, my boobs are too big. You would never have enough wax in the world. And just there's a lot of negativity around this body part that we've experienced throughout our lives. It's either we want them, and then once we have them, they're not enough, or they're just never right. It's like Goldilocks.
That's true, actually. Yeah, because as you grow up, you're just like nitpicking, like maybe like I remember I was obsessed with areolas for a while. And I remember seeing like women with areolas that were much smaller than mine.
Okay. And
I was just kind of envious. Like I always wanted my areola to be small, but it was like when my nipples aren't hard, they're a little bit bigger, Sure. And so I was like, oh, I want small areola. Like I would be like
petite teeth.
Yeah, like I was like, why was that? Like, why do I look at that and be like, man, that's what I want? It's like kind of strange to think that, but I really was like, my areolas aren't shaped the right way.
And where were you seeing these areolas?
Oh, TV. Like, okay. I mean, I love porn, so like I'll watch, like, or I remember like Bring It On. I mean, she doesn't show her tits, but I was obsessed with her tits. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Kristen Dunst had like great tits, and I was just like, oh. And I remember being like, why aren't mine shaped like that? Like, I remember she would wear no bra and it'd be like fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like you don't see your nipple. I mean, like obviously now with TV magic, like I know more about it, but like I definitely wasn't happy with like my areola. I remember that was something that, and I found myself kind of going there a little bit. Like even tonight when we were doing our session, like I like when my nipples are hard because my areolas shrink.
Oh, interesting.
So they feel like they look more pleasing, whatever, to like, you know, the societal norms of what a breast should look like, right? Like that's another thing too. Like that's why I love your sweater so much, is that she has like all the range of titty on here, or chest, you know, like it's a really cute sweater. And it's on sale, guys. So if I'll leave in the show notes and everything, and I'll put when I repost this, like it'll be in the bio, so you guys can go and purchase your own cute sweater.
Yeah, we can do a discount code too. I'll give you that.
Perfect. We'll do a discount code, so it'll be Kimbo or something like that.
Yeah.
Discount code. You know, you can get yourself a sweater, because honestly, like it's also the best quality. Like when I got my sweater too, I was like, because I came from a fashion design world too, so I'm like, I know my clothing, and when I got this, I was like, damn. Like, this is good quality. Like, it's embroidered. Like, all the little, like, shapes are here. All the little titties, they are embroidered. And then can you share a little bit more about the history and the story behind your iconic sweater?
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason I wanted to do an apparel piece is I was kind of thinking through my branding, and I was doing all these events and having great conversations with people. And I really wanted other people to be having these conversations. So I wanted to replicate the conversations I was having at events that people could have in their day-to-day lives. And I love fashion, and I love how they can be conversation pieces. Someone has something cute, you're like, oh, those are really cute earrings, and then you strike a conversation, and now you're best friends,
right?
You know? And so, but I also didn't want to be creating titty sweatshirts that were made by child labor, right? Or other horrible aspects of, you know, the fast fashion industry. So if I was going to do it, I wanted it to be like my whole business. I try to be as ethical as I can in my view of ethics, I guess. That's kind of, you know, subjective. But anyway, so they're 100% organic cotton and they're from fair trade farmers that use like solar panel farming. All the details.
She went down to the solar panel, y'all. I mean, and I'm over here preaching about sex sustainability, y'all, all the time, and this bitch got me beat. I mean, when she said solar panel, I'm like, you got to talk about this in the show.
Yeah.
So the farms have solar panels that create the cotton?
I think it's either solar panel. Now I'm second guessing, or maybe it's windmill. I think it's windmill power.
But it's solar. It's ethically
it's
conscious.
Sustainably, and then throughout the entire process, from like farmer to finished product, it's ethically sourced, ethical like labor laws, all of it. So they are very much more expensive than your typical sweatshirt,
right.
But you also have a super high quality sweatshirt that you'll want to wear all the time, which is both good for me, but also good for you and good for the conversation of diversities.
For sure.
And then, I wanted to be embroidered because, you know, I want these to last beyond my life on this earth, and I think that they probably will. And then another cool thing about these is this design, and yours as well, is different from the original design. So after all the conversations I've been having at events with people, I learned so many different stories of like different conditions and different types of breasts, and people coming to me being like, oh, like mine's not totally represented here. And so I actually did a redesign of the sweatshirt earlier this year where and a lot of them have specific stories to them now, which is really cool. So there's a lactating one. There's an artist in Canada that I'll link. I can't think of her name right now. Who is like a chest hair, body hair like advocate. And then we have like trans top surgery scars, which are slightly different from mastectomy scars, nipple piercing. In the center, my good friend runs an organization in Canada, the like flower one.
Yeah, that was so cute.
So that one is kind of both like, it could be pasties, but also she runs an organization where she works with tattoo artists to pay for them to do like floral tattoos post mastectomy.
That's so cool.
So
oh my God.
A lot of them have really special stories now, and it just kind of... And maybe I'll do a redesign in another year or two if I realize that I'm missing other things. But
Yeah,
It's
I think you
fun to
did. I think
evolve.
you nailed it because like there's so much inclusivity on these sweaters, and honestly, like I want a hoodie, I want a shirt. Like it's so cute that I want the black one because that one has like the rainbow colors. So cute. Like the hardest part I had was when I like was picking it. I was like, fuck, which one do I pick? Like. So honestly, like, yeah, shout out to you for you're super creative and your marketing skills are mwah. Cause like, yeah, like that story that you told me about the young kids. Can you share that can you share that with the audience? Cause it's super cute, guys.
Yeah, so the first time I wore my sweatshirt, I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know if people would react negatively. It's a sweatshirt with a bunch of titties on it. I didn't know. Like, this is my business, but I was still a little self-conscious about it. And the first place I went was the grocery store, and the gal checking me out or like bagging my groceries was probably 16. And I was like, oh, is she going to see it? And she immediately was like, oh my gosh, I love your sweatshirt. Where did you get it? She kind of alluded to having larger breasts and typically wearing larger sweatshirts, which is kind of common, especially among young women. And then immediately after that, I was out in Andersonville and there were some Girl Scouts. And I was like, oh, I really want Girl Scout cookies, but like, because I'm an advocate of buying them from the girls who are like working hard.
I know that's right.
I'm not buying them from my colleague who's selling them like through the group Slack. Anyway, so I went over there and I was like, oh, should I go over there or come back when I'm not wearing this? And then I realized, no. They are a prime audience for having these conversations and seeing things like this, because that's when we're starting to have our bodies are changing and we're starting to have those issues and these ideas of, oh, my areola is too big, or they're not the right size, or I want large. All those kind of thoughts are starting at that age.
Absolutely.
And so I went over and I bought some cookies from them, and immediately the girls, they were like 10 or 12, and they were like, oh my gosh, that's the coolest sweatshirt. Where did you get it? We love it. And I was a little bit nervous because their moms were there too. And I was like, oh no, are the moms going to say anything? And it was like this collective, I mean, they were in Andersonville too. So like I was probably in like,
safe space.
Safe space,
yeah.
But that was very helpful as the first time wearing my apparel to be like, this is why I'm doing this. This has an impact. Even these small interactions impact both me and them. Like they might remember that, they might not, but like it'll impact their view of their body hopefully for years to come.
That's so like, yes. Cause like, and then can you tell us more about the chest stories that you also do? Because I thought that was also really special, because I started just immediately talking about a story of my childhood about my tits, and then she was like, oh my god, so can you share with that?
Yeah, so having conversations like this, especially with my custom molding clients, I wanted to give them a platform to kind of share these stories of just their relationship with their breast or chest. And so it started off as breast stories, so people can go and they submit whatever they want to share. It could be a childhood story, could be a recent story, like whatever they want to share about this relationship. And then it evolved into including chest stories, because as I was working with more people in the non-binary, trans community, I realized that while yes, anyone is prone to getting breast cancer, some people, there is still like, breast is more of a feminine term for this body part, and so for people who are trans and non-binary, it can sometimes be more comfortable to use the term chest. So that's kind of where I've opened up kind of like my language across my website, and also for these chest stories and breast stories to be more inclusive. So yeah, if anyone wants to share your breast story, chest story, you can go to my website and submit. I can't think of where it is, but it's somewhere on there.
It's candletit.com.
That's it.
So just go on Candle Tit. Oh, well, we'll put these in the show notes and things. Candletit.com. Actually, yeah, I'll do that for sure. And then that way they can do that, because that's a brilliant idea, and I think that's super cool. And I would like to share a chest story with you and the audience. So since we are talking all about chest and titties and all that, and by the way, it's Lady Titty Tuesday. Brr, 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 brr.
We forgot that.
I totally forgot. It's the wine. It's this. But yeah, literally, like, because that's one of my little catchphrases. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna give you. Do you have a Litty Titty sticker?
No, but I saw it and I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, I have a little Litty Titty sticker that looks like I don't know, like I just because I'm a graphic designer. Like that's like another one of the many fucking things that I'm doing. But but at the same time, like I just like started to like make branding, like marketing stuff, like during the pandemic, of course, like just come up with things. And the Litty Titty is like fun, kitschy. And then yeah, so I came up with the let me find it because it's cute. Here it is.
Ooh, oh, this is a black. I saw the white.
Oh yeah,
version
the
of it.
white
It's
one
cute.
too, black one. So it's Litty Titty, and it's got a little titty. So that'd be cute. And then like yeah, I was like, oh my god, like I usually like teach pole on Litty Titty Tuesdays. So today's Litty Titty yeah. So I usually teach pole and on Tuesday nights, and so I usually call it Litty Titty Tuesday. So it's Litty Titty Tuesday with Candle Tit. Okay, like super on brand, super on brand. So yeah, I would love to share a chest story with you guys, just because like honestly, like I did totally have like this like nostalgic moment, you know, like when I did the molding with you, and I was like, wow, like I do remember wanting boobs. Like I saw older women with boobs and like tits, and like I was like, man, one day, when am I gonna get some tits? Like I was just like, you know, like, and then I think like honestly, like I didn't really get like, cause like my breasts too, I think I'm a C or D. Like I don't really honestly, I haven't got like a, girl, I'll be wearing sports bras half the time.
Every
'cause
day. Or none.
or none.
Can't
or
be
none.
bothered.
Cause underwire, not doing it.
It is not in style.
Not.
You heard
okay?
it on here. It's out of style.
Listen, Rihanna doesn't do it either, okay? And she got babies, so I shop at Fenty now. But anyways, but no, seriously, like I was like, man, like this is crazy. And I remember when I was like sixth grade maybe, which like you said, the time frame, like the age group of those young girls, like loving your sweater and connecting to it on a positive way, like it's super cute. Because I remember being like super just insecure about my breasts and not them being big enough, and like obviously I wanted to be, you know, the cool girl and hot, you know, everybody sought after. So like,
And you were.
obviously not really. No, girl, growing up I was like very much, well, first of all, a confused Black and Asian girl growing up with like multicultural, like white people, Hispanic people, like, you know, Latin people, like, but honestly not necessarily with like the Black community. So I grew up very confused. Hashtag biracial, you know what I mean? But honestly, like I was just trying to like grasp, I was just kind of there, and I kind of was like floating through. I wasn't super popular, I wasn't like a nerd or anything. I was just there, honestly. And then when I got to an age where boys were like paying attention to me, you know, like I remember in the library there was a moment where like I would put like a thought, I would, you know the Christina Aguilera guy, you guys, the Christina Aguilera, the what was it called, the fucking that era where she was dressed like she had that thong all high. What era was that, y'all? Help me out. It was like the fuck. It was that era where she had like the red in her hair and dirty, bad. Like she was singing that song "Dirty"
Okay.
or some shit. I don't know, but it was
can
this
picture
era
it.
where she was like this hot ass bitch. She's like, yes, and she had her thong showing and shit. And I was like, yes. So I like would hike my thong up all high. And I would steal my mom's bras because they had a little padding in them. And I remember I would put a little extra in there because I was like, I want big tits. Like, I want the boys to like me. So, like, yeah, like I remember I would wear bras that were obviously too big for my boobs, you know, and then I would like, because, like, you know, and then I would like, oh my God, this has padding. Let me add a little more. So, yeah, I remember that at a young age being like, what I have right now is not, it's not, you know,
Enough.
yeah, you know, and not liking it, not feeling insecure about my body. So super, super like humbling. And I think that the chest stories would be really fun to reminisce, like go back and look back at maybe your younger self and be like, girl, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well,
so-
and I wish there was something, I've thought about doing a version of these like sweatshirts and t-shirts for, this wouldn't totally be appropriate, I think, for that age group. Like they probably wouldn't be able to wear it at school, and like the word tit is not okay
I know.
in most circumstances.
I know.
But if I could do a version of this for young girls to be able to just start that acceptance and love, and like there are diverse bodies and they are all beautiful, and there is not one mold that we're all trying to fit into, because these are still issues that girls are going to continue to have for generations.
Totally. And I actually think that these are like very like anyone can wear. Like I don't see it, even if it says titty in it, the way that you branded it, it's so like, you know, in a sense, like this would be, I feel like I can see mom's daughter, I could see everybody wearing this. Like it's not offensive. I don't feel this like, but I'm also a person that's not offended by seeing tits, but
Right.
you know, whatever.
Well, and the
I
funny
digress.
thing is like to actually read it, I have to look at your tits.
Exactly.
So if anyone says anything, be like, "Why are you looking at my tits?"
There you go. And that's the way you get out of that one. But yeah, no, it was super cute. Love the story behind your business. You know, I think it's really, first of all, you have a funny story because, you know, you don't really like candles, but yet again, then again, you're like, let me go ahead and make this business around candles. But then not only that, but like you said, you can make custom molds. You can create like, she can create like art pieces, guys, and like fabric. Can you tell more about that part? Like, do you can like have a chest piece and wear that as like a garment?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be fabric. It would be like a hard plastic. But I
Gotcha.
would love to partner with someone who works with like leather garments and like straps to be able to create
So cool.
more of like a chest piece. You can be a Wonder Woman full time.
Yo, with your own tits though?
Yeah.
Like, love that. Well,
Then
yeah.
you could wear it out, but it would still be your actual tits, which I love that
Yep.
as an opportunity.
Ha! On a Lady Titty Tuesday, okay? I mean, bitch, you the marketing queen, okay, over here. Well, this was really cute. Like, I mean, I loved hearing about your business, and I want to dive a little bit more into like something else that she shared with me that was like super inspiring. So first of all, like, this is Bailey, you know, from Candle Tit, but she's just like a badass bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally like embodies like feminism, but also like positivity and like I got really good vibes off you. We had a few conversations. Like our story was like really organic and like real. And then we started to really talk and I was like, we should collab. I think this is going to be really fun. So, but then she started sharing like her other side to her. She's a fucking pilot, guys. She flies planes. So can you share more about that side and like what got you into like wanting to be a pilot and your licenses?
Yeah, so long story short, grew up in an aviation household and always wanted to be a pilot. So had asked for time off in January 2020 to go and get my pilot's license while working remotely, and then got laid off. So I just moved back to my hometown and pursued my pilot's license full time. So I got that initial license in 2020, just as like a way to bond with some family members and. Yeah, it was just something that I always wanted to do. The first, they call it a discovery flight, is your first flight. And the freedom that you feel flying a plane is just truly unmatched for anything else. Yeah.
Oh my God. I won't get in a helicopter.
Why?
Like, I have vertigo and I just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know I spin on poles, but like, like getting on a helicopter scares the fuck out of me.
Have you ever been on one?
No, but you know, okay, I have a little bit, like, because I have vertigo, I have a child memory. I went to Six Flags and I went on the merry-go-round and had a seizure and like had to leave. Yeah, like, so like, but that was like, I was much younger, but even now, if I have, I get high anxiety in like the back of cars. And like the lights and stuff like that. So like, it's still, certain things bother me and I can't do roller coasters. And the up and down motion doesn't necessarily, it's like the spinning, but like because the helicopters are so like that feeling, you know, of like, I just feel like I would be miserable.
Yeah,
So-
and you would not want to like pass out and get vertigo in a helicopter.
Yeah. So like, yeah, well, what, like you don't recommend it then? You're like, nah, girl, don't do it.
I think I would like test doing a discovery flight with a small plane. So you go into a small like 4-person plane,
okay.
and you can just like let them know that you might not feel good, and you stay in what they call the pattern, which is just like above the airport, and you can just kind of circle, and then if something happens, you just land immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or you can like stay in the area. Like it wouldn't take that long to get you back on the ground.
Okay.
But I think if you were prone to seizures, making that very
Yeah, I mean, I haven't in like since I was a kid, but like I remember that, and I do have anxiety from it. So like certain things like helicopters, I've never like been so brave to do that. You know, I mean, I've been in small planes, like, but like maybe like not 2-person. You know, maybe like small commercial flight, like super small, like going to like an island or something like that. I've done the small. I think maybe even a sea. Have I do a seaplane? I don't know if I've done a seaplane though.
cool.
Those are cool.
I've never done one, but
It looks cool.
goals is to do that and get a seaplane license, a separate license.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, can you explain, which I didn't know. I mean, obviously, like, of course, there's just not one license, but like she broke it down. She was like, yeah, you get your discovery license and then you get another one if you want to do commercial and this, like, so basically if you want to fly a plane, you can go into all these different avenues. Like you don't necessarily have to fly for the airlines, right?
Yep, exactly. So you get your private pilot. That you need minimum 40 hours. Most people take like 70 to 80. I think I was in the like 70 to 80 range when I got my license. So what that entails is you have to take a written exam, and then you have to meet certain criteria. So you have to fly a couple of solo cross-country flights where you're flying totally by yourself to different areas of like a certain distance. You have to do some night flying. You have to do, there's some criteria. And then you do a check ride with an FAA examiner, which is like the most stressful thing you'll ever do in your whole life. Yeah, it's like can be a 4 to 8 hour exam where the first half is all oral. So they're asking you everything, not just like how to fly the plane, but all about weather scenarios. How do you read a weather map? What are your regulations? And like what, based on your license, are you able to fly within certain regulations? So it's like the plane, the weather, air traffic control, how to communicate with them, what are different types of airspaces. So there's like a lot of different factors that you have to know to become a pilot just to get that basic license. And that basically just gives you the license to fly small single engine planes. So typically, that's the first one you have to get. It's your private pilot license. And then after that, most people get their instrument rating, and that allows you to fly in the clouds and above 10,000 feet.
Okay.
So that's a big safety one that you want to get, because flying in the clouds is pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, because you're kind of flying blind. You can't see anything, so it's pretty freaky. And you have to be able to read your instruments and understand what's going on, because like issues like vertigo and your like ears and your physiology, you might feel like you're flying straight and level, but you're actually like going downwards in a turn. And so you have to teach yourself to override what you think you're feeling and read your instruments, but also know what the signs are if your instruments are failing.
Damn.
So
that's hard.
It's really hard for most pilots. Your instrument rating is like the hardest one you'll do. But it's really cool and interesting because it's like a whole other universe that's above our heads, and most people fly, but we have no idea what's going on when we get into a commercial plane. So
absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
There's like a lingo too. There's like this like verbiage, and there's like a whole yeah, it's funny because my massage therapist, she worked for the airline, so she said she can understand like all the like she would listen, and so she would hear what you guys were all talking about, and then she'd be like, oh, okay, like we're good, like because like that's the thing, like there's signs for like, hey, is things about to go down or we're good, and so she would listen for that, and she'd be like, all right, like, so that's okay. So I think that's super fascinating that like there's all these different nuances to becoming a pilot and getting your pilot license. There's all these different, you said seaplanes, so like if you wanted to drive and the seaplanes are ones that land on the water, right?
Correct, yeah.
And you would love to do that?
Oh yeah, it's just like, it's not a super practical license. Very few pilots actually are going to use it, but it's just one of those check boxes that would be, to land on water is so cool as a concept.
So cool. You know what you could do? Because when we were in, we went into Thailand and Koh Samui, there was this like seaplane business that was like every hour or something like that you could go work there, girl, and just literally fly the seaplanes in Thailand and be sickening in fucking Thailand.
Living my best life.
Yeah, living your fucking best life, driving seaplanes in Thailand, like that would be so cool. Because yeah, we were on this cool, and we would literally watch them come in and land on the water. It was so fun.
Wow,
it was super cool. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Because honestly, like, I don't run into many women that are like, yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking pilot. What's up? Like. Well,
yeah, less than like 7% of pilots are women. So like 93% are men. We're pretty rare.
Oh my god, what a superpower that is! Like, be like, yeah, I fly planes. Like, cool as fuck, And so, do you have like a dream, like pilot dream, like that you would want to work? Like, what would you want to do?
Yeah. So when I first started, I just thought I would do it as like kind of a hobby, but there's a lot of cool volunteer opportunities. Like you can fly shelter pets around to shelter pets when they need to be relocated. It's often better than having to if there's like a shelter in Atlanta that's has too many animals and they need to be relocated to Chicago. It's better for the animals to be able to put them in a plane and bring them there quicker.
Really?
So pilots that own their own planes will volunteer their time and everything and fly shelter animals all over the country.
That is so cute.
Yeah. And then there's like Angel Flight, I think there's a couple organizations like that where they'll fly people for their medical appointments.
Got you.
Because sometimes people, they need to fly somewhere, but maybe they can't be exposed to a lot of people, or they need to get there specific, or get like they're in a small town. There's a lot of scenarios. There's one really cool one that I will plug in Chicago called Elevated Access.
Elevated Access.
And they started a few years ago before Roe v. Wade was overturned, and they fly people to their abortion appointments.
That's perfect, Bailey. Like, come on now, that's awesome.
Yeah, some of the proceeds from some of my apparel go to them because I'm obsessed and I love them.
Love that.
But it's both for abortion appointments and gender affirming care. And so I think it's really cool, too, because the aviation community gears to be quite a bit more conservative.
Gotcha.
And so to see these pilots who are, willing to take their time and their plane and the expense of it all.
The gas, right, girl?
Yeah, I'm not sure who pays for that. Maybe the pilots do. But I know that the patients don't have to pay anything. But they're
amazing.
Truly an incredible organization. And they're based out of Chicago, which is great because they, are able to now help a lot of the surrounding states that don't have access.
Thank you for sharing that and informing us, because I did not know that. What is it called? Elevated Access. Shout out to Elevated Access. What a wonderful organization to really, and they're really serving in a community it's needed, so it's beautiful. Oh my God.
So initially my dreams were like just to fly with family members and take friends up and just kind of expose people to aviation, because most women who go into aviation do so because they know someone, a family member, whereas a lot more men go into it because it's kind of expected of them and they have that exposure through their toys and stuff like that growing up. But the more I got into it, I started like participating in women in aviation groups, and I met all these cool women and was inspired and learned that you don't just have to go to the airlines. There's like so many different cool jobs you can do. You can fly search and rescue, which is more helicopters, so not for you. But
I'm like,
but they do have Flight for Life, so that's typically more like jets that are flying people from like rural areas to bigger cities that have more like intensive care for whatever surgeries and stuff. What I would want to do though is firefighting. So there's
so badass.
So there's two, and there's like military and stuff like that too. But yeah, firefighting, there's two different planes typically. You have your lead plane that's going through, and they're like the spotter. So they're looking in the mountains and wherever fires are to see where the fire is. And then they'll let off a stream. They'll like fart out a stream of smoke to show.
Is that what the chemtrails are in the sky?
So those are contrails. That's just like condensation trails.
Okay.
From the
okay,
engine.
cool.
But
okay.
the ones that they spew out are like red, and it's purposeful. And so then the first plane will come in and it'll be like, oh, there's the fire, spew out this little red bit, and then the like slurry bomber plane. They have a couple different names. They're basically big tankers that carry large amounts of water or fire retardant.
Okay.
And they'll come in afterwards, and then they see where that stream of the red stream of smoke is, and that's where they'll drop.
Okay.
The water on the fire.
So cool. So badass. Wearing your chest plate and everything as you do it and shit.
I would be like, I'm only wearing my titty sweatshirts. Like I'm gonna work my way up, and then I'm gonna start like a whole just like fire titty, litty titty,
like armor with like a titty chest plate.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Gold or some shit.
And it'll be like flaming tits.
Flaming. Okay, I want a bedazzled one though. Like bedazzled titties. We got to do that.
So I did.
Sparkle titty.
I got like I had that idea, especially for the Pride one that's all rainbow titties. And I went to Michael's and I got like little like bedazzle things and pom poms and stuff. And I'm gonna get one and like put little pom pom pasties on them and bedazzle
so
it.
Cute. So
done.
cute. I love that. I love that. See that the possibilities are endless with tits, guys. Okay, let's
the
just
possibilities.
And on that note, guys, that was a perfect, like, literal way to, like, go into our first break, because that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, because first of all, like, I think it's important to have these conversations because, you know, 93% are men, you know, so come on, diversity, you know what I'm saying? Let's vary it up. Let's get some women flying some planes, please. I personally would trust a woman to fly my plane, okay? So... Not that I don't trust anybody. It's just, there's something about it. You know what I mean? Like, we just have this, like...
You're like, you know, you worked harder for this, so I trust you.
I see you, sis. I see you. So thank you so much for sharing your story and more about Candle Tit. And so I want to bring you back on so we can do Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate with Bailey. It's a super fun part of the show where we just kind of like choose it's our wellness segments. You know, we're going to talk all the pillars. You can choose one or two or all of them, and we'll have a nice conversation, and it'll be fun. So
great.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and fill our drinks back up, and then we'll be back, and we'll do Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate, guys. We'll see you in a bit.
Is it done? Is it over?
Rick Dog?
Be right back. Got it, no?
There's like one screen up.
Oh, shit. Okay. I split it.
Oh, you split it. Okay.
This one's still going, though. I think there might be people on there.
Be right back. Yeah, there's like actually people.
Hi, friends.
Oh, Tiki Taki, what's up? Okay, we can actually, let's just take a quickie break if you want to grab a drink or refill your drink. Go to the bathroom. Oh, I still have
He's relaxed.
Because you know what it is? Like, us talking, our voice, like, soothes him.
That makes
so
sense.
he never wants to, like, while out up here. I'm like, George, come up here and, like, kiki with us. Like, be on the show. And
Yeah,
he
we
just
need to give
doesn't
him a
want
kitty nip.
That's a good point. That might help. All right, the fun part's coming. We're going to do Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate with you.
What, that wasn't fun?
Huh?
That wasn't fun?
I mean, that was super fun. But I get stressed because I'm always like, okay, am I asking the right questions? Like, da-da-da,
You're amazing.
You know? I'm always like, am I doing the right thing? I have my notes. Like, I'm always like trying to make sure everybody's. Plus, I'm like, I'm high. I'm like, am I being weird? Like, oh my god. Let's see. So, are we?
Whenever you're ready, you just let me know.
Okay.
They're listening to you.
Oh, they are.
Hi.
Hi guys.
Like how we both go to, hey.
Hello. Hi guys. Is there anybody TikTok? They're like, who the fuck is this? I don't know. Can't tell. I cannot tell. People come in and out, and they're always like, "Oh, what are they doing?" Okay, cool. Some people like stay, they'll kiki. Some people will request to like go live with you, and I'm like, "Who? What?" Like,
No.
I know.
No.
No. Okay, we're ready.
Okay, ready in 3,
Yes.
2, 1.
And we're back from our break. We have a little bit more wine or champagne. Okay, cheers.
Champagne. If we've seen Schitt's Creek.
What did you say?
Champagne.
Champagne. You know, I need to watch that again. I tried and it didn't hit, but
That's the theme. It took me 3 times to get into it. And everyone
Okay.
I've talked to, it takes a few. I don't know why, but once you get
Yeah.
into it, you're in.
it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because of the wider strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike, I might have to because I can't get no more new Silo on Apple TV. Watch Silo. It's some dystopian, like people live in a silo type shit,
Ooh.
like a whole society's like living. It's like after apocalyptic
Yeah.
type shit. And then there's Abbott Elementary. Have you watched that? Abbott Elementary
watch a lot of
so
shows.
cute. Okay, well if you like Broad City, I feel like you like Abbott Elementary. But it's just very wholesome. It's giving The Office. It's giving like, Modern Family. It's like that. It's literally like a staple now.
What's
and
it on?
it's all about a school, like a Philly elementary school.
Okay.
And it's like it surrounds the teachers and the kids. It's super cute.
Okay.
It's really
What
good.
is it streaming on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Shluhu.
Okay.
Yeah, so shout out to them. But yeah, we stand with the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA. This strike needs to end, and yeah, we stand with you guys. So just preface by saying that the strike is going on, guys. So make sure you are supporting the powers that be, because too many people up top want to just buy their 30th home, and it's like, wow, okay, well, can I pay my bills? Can I pay my health insurance? Like, great, thanks, but I digress. But guys, it's time for Meditate, Masturbate, and or Medicate. No, oh, look at me. Wow, I fucked that up, y'all. It's the wine.
Do we need to restart that?
No. Well, they know it. It's right there, y'all.
late.
Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate, y'all. Well, I'm excited to do this with Bailey because I've been having fun with her all day ever since she molded my titties. So, at this point in the show, it's our wellness segment. It's super fun, lighthearted. It could be as lighthearted as you want. It could be as serious as you want. It could be as as just simple as like, oh yeah, I masturbate like this, or I don't like masturbating, or oh, meditation. Yeah, I do journaling, or whatever that's calling to you want to share. And I'm really excited because I just don't know what Bailey's going to talk about. So, do you want to do all 3 pillars? Do you want to just do a couple? Do you want to do
We
one?
can do all 3.
Sickening. Well, we'll just go in order. So the first one's going to be meditate. So
Meditate.
Mhm.
I have.
Do you meditate?
Well, so I have a little story about meditation.
Ooh, let's go.
that
Love a story.
It's like, yeah, hit home for me. So when I was in college, there was a philosophy class about meditation. And I'd always heard about it, but had never done it and didn't really know, like, how do you do it? It seems like this easy thing where you just sit there and you breathe. But, like, I can't sit still and I can't breathe. That's why I don't watch TV shows, because I can't sit. I'm like, I have to do something with my hands. Like, I can't focus for that. Like, I don't know. There's some shows that it works with, but most, not the case. Anyway, and that totally opened my eyes, like, and mind around the philosophy of meditation and where it came from. And there are different types of meditation. So we wouldn't just we would sit and do the traditional meditation that you think of where you're like in your like cross-legged
Right.
with your, hands like this.
Chanting or not chanting? Like mantras or no? Like, would you just
No. I mean, he would walk us through like guided meditations.
Okay, guided. Okay.
But then he also we did like walking meditations
Oh.
and eating meditations, and that.
I'm sorry, eating. Sign me up.
Oh, yeah, you should really look into eating meditation.
Oh my God, that's a thing?
Blew my mind. So we talked earlier about how I don't like to cook and I will eat beans and rice. I eat beans and rice for lunch, so that's why I'm so gassy. And because it's for sustenance. Like, give me a food bag and an IV and I'm good to go. Like, it's fine. Like, I appreciate good meals, but like, I'm not going to spend my time doing that. I'm not here to hunt, gather, and cook for myself. No.
I am over here dying right now because that is like who I am. I told Bailey I spend like 90% of my time trying to figure out what to eat, cooking what to eat, eating it, like going to traveling to get food. Like, it's all surrounded about food.
I can't be bothered. But what opened my eyes in this eating meditation is we sat in this room. I have such a vivid memory of this, and we each were given a single raisin. What? And when you think of a raisin, what do you think? Like, what do you think about a raisin in terms of like
small? It's done in a second. I'm gonna chew on that shit. It's gone. Like, how do you?
What is the flavor like?
Oh, I mean, it's dry. Flavor wise, it's like there's not really a lot of flavor. It's kind of like bland. I don't know. Like,
okay, yeah, same. I mean, I think most people would agree. Like, raisins, not great.
Yeah.
But what I would like to challenge you and whoever else is interested to do. Go get a little bag or box of raisins and take one raisin and sit there for like 10 minutes and take the tiniest little bite of this raisin and you will have your mind fucking blown.
Are you dead ass?
You have no idea how much flavor is packed into a single raisin. And you sit there and like you meditate and you just like let the texture kind of roll and it evolves. Like, in different parts of your mouth can taste different flavors, right?
Wow.
Like, different parts taste sweet, different parts taste like salty, and so you can really like experience, because normally when you eat something it just like goes all in and you're like, yeah, that was sweet, but you don't realize that different parts of your taste buds taste different things. Because a raisin is just like a dried up grape, and grapes are very flavorful and sweet.
Right.
And so all that is packed into this teeny tiny little raisin.
Oh.
And so once you kind of break it apart, you really start to notice like the minute details of the texture of like the skin and the meat of it. And it's this very surreal experience because we've all had raisins. We had them tons as kids. You know,
or if you hate them, you pick them out of your food, right?
Right. And you don't really think anything of them either way. But if you're able to do that with a raisin, something that you don't think is very flavorful, imagine if you do that with something that you know is flavorful.
Oh, bitch. I just thought about that. I was like, oh my God.
It will completely change your relationship with food. Now, do I do that ever? No.
I was gonna say, girl, but you literally said you eat beans and rice. Like,
right. But I know.
I like made her like larb, which is like a Thai dish. It's like very like it's like you use any sort of meat protein, but then you mix it with like lime juice, and then you have like rice that you like toast and you ground up, and then you like mix that with like nam pla, which is like Thai fish sauce, and then you mix it with like rice. Like, think of it like a Chipotle bowl, but with the meat and like onion and like super like citrusy but delicious, right?
It's amazing.
And like you're like, girl, I can't be bothered.
But if I the reason is because I eat my rice so slowly. I know the flavor. I'm kidding, I don't.
Right.
But I could if I wanted to.
I kind of need to try this though, real tea.
Yeah.
Like, this is so fascinating.
So anyway, that class was really impactful. Just opening my eyes to how to meditate, the different ways to meditate, so you can kind of figure out if sitting down and meditating and listening to a guided meditation doesn't work for you, doesn't mean that meditation isn't for you. It just means that you should explore other types of meditation. So
I love that.
For me, sometimes walking meditation is a better method for me.
And what do you do in your walking meditations?
I think you just stay in a small area. Like, you could be in a park and you're in like a 10 by 10 foot square or something like that, because you want to be conscious. You don't want to just be like walking around your neighborhood, being kind of mindless. There is a mindfulness of it, right? So just being hyper aware is similar to when you're doing a body meditation where you're thinking about different parts of your body and you're kind of like isolating different muscles. And
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it. I typically go for the guided meditations because I need someone to tell me what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
But Yeah, you don't just have to sit there and do it.
Okay.
And you can lay down too. You don't have to. You can be in different positions, I guess.
For sure. I mean, like I had a guest before that she like dance is like her form of meditation.
Yeah.
You know, she likes to move her body. Like she loves movement therapy. So, yeah. But the eating one, you got me shooketh with that because I'm like, damn. What would I think about if I just take a fucking raisin and just start to nibble on it and just like really dissect like all the like flavors, textures, and just spend like 10 minutes doing that? Like
10 minutes too. Like
Yeah.
commit to 10. That's a long time to
it's a
eat a
long
raisin.
fucking time. I
eat
need like
one
20
raisin.
fucking raisins. Like I need like 30 raisins. Like, you know, I'm like, come on. So one raisin to do that, like you really have to take like itty bitty bites.
Yeah.
And you're like really like rolling it around. Yeah, like no water, just like
Just the raisin.
that's interesting.
So, and I think too, like for me, I love meditation and going to meditation classes and would love to do retreats where I'm just like fully immersed.
Yes.
But I think for me, which isn't meditation, but what feels like meditation for me, where I'm most at peace, is when I'm doing like extreme sports.
Really?
Like I feel.
Are you an adrenaline junkie?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, you do like to fly planes.
Like
so.
when I'm flying planes, when I'm riding motorcycles, like those are the things where I feel like the most at peace. And I think that I've talked with other friends about this, and I think it's because like I have to focus on one thing, and if I don't, it's life or death. And so it's just like there's this calming of like I don't have to think of a million things right now because I can only think of one thing or you will die.
Right.
And so it kind of throws all the other thoughts out of my mind and like to a meditation perspective, you think of like a thought comes in your mind and you're supposed to let it go. And that's what I have to do if I'm hyper focused on one task.
Got you. It's really hard to do that too.
Yeah.
Like as you sit there, obviously all the things that you have to get done or people or whatever they come into your brain. Yeah, performing meditation is like, well, that's just right part of it, right? They'll tell you to like try to let those like thoughts go, but then it's like fuck, like you're thinking about it. It's like what else is there to focus on? So and that just totally makes sense. On that you're like, yeah, I love adrenaline. I love that. Bitch, we got to get you to the pole. I feel like you'll be like a trickster. Like you'll love the feeling of like spinning and like, you know what I mean? Like
I always wanted to be a cheerleader because I wanted to be thrown in the air so badly. Like
doesn't that sound fun?
Oh yeah.
Like I love like I follow cheerleaders like on
Yes.
Instagram. Like I love that show Cheer.
Bring it on. Like,
Bring it
all
on.
those movies.
Okay, like that shit looks fun as fuck and cool, and then dance and then this and that and then like backflips and you know, like hell fucking yeah, you know. I love that, and I love that because the thing is like, okay, can you tell me? Do you know your chart? Are you like astrology person or?
I am not.
Do you know what's your birthday?
January 26th.
So that means you
I
are
was born at 10:26 a.m.
So you do know, like,
I know,
how to
like,
look up
how
the
it
chart
works.
and all
I
that.
just don't know what
Okay.
my things are.
Got you. But you know what you are? Are you a Capricorn?
No, Aquarius. Are you an astrology girl?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Clearly,
Well.
not. Wait, no, January. Oh yeah, you're
Capricorn is part of
right.
it.
Because then February and then the end, Aquarius. Because
Yeah,
Aquarius is
Aquarius
also
goes in
February.
February, yeah.
Got you. Okay. And honestly, like my mom's an Aquarius, and I don't know anything about that girl. Like, I'm like,
We are a
girl,
mystery.
she literally is like there's like I literally like still am learning things about my mother now, but highly emotional as she
I'm
is.
not.
No.
No. I cry like twice a year,
Interesting.
and I just don't get emotional about things very often. It's funny. I think that's why I like to watch like true crime and horror things and do like watch really intense things because it makes me feel human.
Because you starting to feel something then?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm like, oh,
okay.
this
I
is
get
fun.
it.
Okay, this is what you all feel every day.
I
All
get
right.
it. Serial killers. Okay.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you like The Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah.
I bet you do. That shit's crazy.
Fucked up shit.
Girl, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to June, but we gonna pray for her, cause Lord. But anyways, love that your meditation got us into thinking about eating meditation, cause I did not know that existed, and I'm definitely gonna try that. Let's move on to the next pillar. So that is gonna be masturbate.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk in that category?
I think it's something I would love. One of my like many life goals would to be to go to college campuses and like have conversations and preach and like bring sex toy companies in where we are just like donating toys.
Yes.
Of like, this is an opportunity, because it's so, if people are able, especially women, are able to please themselves and understand their body, then I feel like it empowers them to not fall into like toxic relationships, because they realize that there's better, you can have better sex with yourself than with a lot of your partners potentially,
especially if that's all you're seeking,
right?
Because some people that's all they're seeking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I think that's honestly like, well, I mean, that's a huge part of our brand, right? Masturbate, is because literally, I remember putting a sticker up and this one like dude was like, or I offered him a sticker or something. He like lost it because it had masturbate on the sticker.
Was it on the show?
No, it was, I was on the street like doing something, and of course he was just like, I'm so offended, he sees masturbate. And I'm like, bro, like, but why is this something that makes people uncomfortable? Well, you know what I mean? And I feel like the more we have these conversations, the more we can normalize this, guys. Like, it is a normal thing to be, explorative of your body, you know what I mean? Like, as human beings, like, we all, like, we were young, we were feeling things in our bodies, and then discovered rubbing this, oh, that shit feel good, I'm gonna keep doing that, like, and then you feel better afterwards, you know what I mean? You have like a release, and like, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, obviously if you are part of like religious sectors where that's not supposed to be the case, it is what it is. But I'm a believer of, masturbating regularly to just for your body health, like your body needs that release, and then orgasms are the shit. Why the fuck not?
Well, and something that I found interesting is like in college, I think I was one of the first friends, or maybe I knew someone who like had a toy, and I was like, oh, like stigma, like that's crazy. But then I was also intrigued, and so then I was like, I'm gonna go to one of these stores because like why not? I'm above 18, and so I remember I went with one of my best friends, and we were like, like, oh my gosh, like we're going in, and it's like next to a trucker stop, and so we're like already like uncomfortable and scared, and it's like, but like nobody's ever, the funny thing is like we had this stigma around like sex toys and stuff, but nobody had directly talked to us about that aspect of like sex and sexuality, which is like interesting, where I don't even know where that came from other than just like a general sense of like sex bad. But so then I started to like explore my sexuality, and then I started to be like the liaison with my friends of being like, do you have any toys? And still to this day, like I'm almost 30, and like several of my friends have never bought a toy. And so I've been the like weird friend on their birthday where I'm like, I'll be sending them one and be like, test this one out.
See what you think.
And a lot of them are really appreciative, because it's scary to know, like, where do you even start? You go into this often like creepy store next to a truck stop. And like in Chicago, there's some like nicer, cleaner places.
The Pleasure Test is nice.
That one, and then I think there's a new Lover's Lane in Wicker Park that's really nice.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah.
And then there's a couple, or at least there were a couple woman-owned ones a few years ago. I think
I'd love to know if there was. I thought there was one. You know what? I need to do my research, because this is where I need to dive deeper into this pillar and find these companies and align with them.
Yeah, there was one on Belmont. It was a combination between the alley, and then they had like their toy shop on this first floor, and they were amazing. But I don't know if they. No, I think I saw a billboard recently that they're reopened.
Still open? Okay.
And then there was one on Broadway by the Marianos in Lakeview. And I think it was woman-owned, and they had classes and stuff like that.
Oh, cute. I think
Lover's Lane also, they have classes, or like people that you could bring on and like have a conversation
to align with. Yeah, that's a great, I need to follow up with that, because it's like it's like hard to find, like even just having like two women identifying people just having this conversation that just is like, I masturbate, like what's the big deal, like it's not, it's
like titties, like we all have titties, we love them, like these are just normal bodily functions, like let's just like love and accept and not make it weird.
And I love that you're really explorative with the toys, because I personally like went through phases with my masturbation journeys, right? Where like I was using like pillows and stuffed animals, and then I would use like we all listen, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody gave us a little something with that one. I saw like a I don't know, a celebratory that one, but like, yeah, like it's thanks TikTok. Shout out to you. Yeah, cute. No, but basically, like, you kind of like go through these phases. If you know, obviously, like, I'm sharing my story, and the ones you know listening, like, come on, like, we have all had those moments, you know. Maybe there was a hairbrush or something. Like, I don't know.
We've all heard those stories,
listen,
like of someone with a cucumber. Who knows if it's actually true?
Listen, like, you're a little desperate. You're like, man, I'm horny. Like, what's in the area? What's in the vicinity? You know,
I'm not
of me?
allowed to go to a store and buy something that's safe.
There you go.
So then you end up in the hospital or whatever. And
Oh, yeah, girl. Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's just make it safe. Like, let's just like, wow, like, moms out there, like, go go shopping with your children for your first sex toy.
Yeah, one of my good friends, her mom was like, yeah, whatever you want, I'm gonna buy you your first toy, and I was like, what? Like,
Really?
I could never imagine that. And then I'm like, yeah, I feel like I would much rather buy my child a toy and have that conversation and allow them to explore themselves and know what's safe and comfortable for their body before they go off and explore with someone else. That's a whole other factor that you can't always control.
Exactly.
And it's just a lot more risk involved.
Yeah, because, I mean, your girl was rubbing her clit on whatever she can get, you know? So.
That's where those stains were.
Right? You're like, oh, girl, clean up in here.
You
okay.
grew up here, right?
Not drag me, bitch. Drag me. Listen, your girl, and you know what? I was like, I've shared this story with the listeners before. Like, I would put little mirrors on the ceiling.
You were like Alana Wexler in Broad City.
That was me. I literally would put, and I would have a little Polly Pocket mirror and shit, and I would put double stick tape, and then I would put it on the fucking on the ceiling, and my mom would just come in the room and be like,
I know what you would do.
like, girl, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? You know, I just like to look at myself up there, like, girl, I was a freaky little bitch, you know.
Which is good. You were exploring yourself.
I loved. I'm a voyeur. Like, I love to watch, even back then, you know. And I knew that about myself. And as I got older, I'm like, oh, that's what that is. I'm a voyeur. Like, I love to watch, you know, and that means watching whatever. That's why I like porn. That's why I like mirrors. Like, if we're fucking, I need a mirror. I want to see it. Let me see the action, you know. So, and I think that that's huge. Like, if we have these conversations more often, and younger. I mean, listen, we can even go into the fact that, like, there's the period. Like, we don't know anything about our menstrual cycle compared to, like, there's just, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I feel like there's so many things about, you know, women's bodies and people that identify as women. Like, they're just in a sense of, like, what the fuck is going on with ourselves. And I often feel like I don't even have, like, fucking autonomy over my body sometimes, because it's like, I'm still learning so much, you know?
Well, and, like, when you go to doctors, like, there's working in the breast cancer community or working, like, with people in the breast cancer community, I talk with a lot of women who, especially are in their young 20s, who have to learn how to advocate for themselves, because in your young 20s, you in the U.S., like, it's really hard to get a mammogram unless you're 40 and above.
Oh, that's
and
right.
if you don't have family history of breast cancer, but, like, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of people who discover they have breast cancer is through self-exams and going to their doctor. But a lot of them are just fighting for their lives just to get a mammogram. And I get that you don't want to overburden the system with too many people who don't need it, because there are limited resources for mammograms and you need it, have them available for people who need it. But let's make some more machines and like let's start the process earlier if we're like seeing all these women in their 20s and 30s who are having breast cancer and cancer in general. I mean, the rates are continuing to rise.
Yeah.
Probably because of all of the toxins and like plastics that we've been using for the past
preach
60 years. But
preach. They'd be like, oh, I wonder why, like, y'all are poisoning us for like literal decades and years. And it's like, that's why. You wonder why?
Where are these coming from? Oh,
like,
right.
God. And it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, taking it back to just knowing more, having more knowledge, right? Just in general, like about who we are as people, our bodies. One thing that I definitely will admit that like I still need to be better about my menstrual cycle and knowing
I only started tracking my menstrual cycle like this year.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like I use an app, but the thing is like there's like nuances to it. There's like people that read your body. Like they use the fertility awareness method. And I had an episode with my shout out to Tiffany, my friend from New York City, who literally was coaching people on how to read their body and like how to not get pregnant this way. And you don't need to be on birth control pills and things like that. Like and still to this day, it just sounds like a lot of fucking work.
Yeah. Can we automate that? Like, can someone make an app, please?
You know, like, I mean, it got down to the point where you're like looking at your mucus that's coming out of you, like your your bodily fluids, and you're like testing it and like feeling it and seeing like the texture, like all that shit, girl. And I'm like, that sounds like work. That sounds like I have to clock in.
Also, like, no shame, but
you're like, oh yeah, but
like bodies are amazing and all, but like,
I know, quite. I mean, like, imagine you're on your period too, and you're like going through, and you're like, I'm like, okay. Like, I know. Did you ever watch that episode of I May Destroy You, where like there was a blood clot that? No. Oh my,
No.
Okay, so I May Destroy You was, I think it's on Max, but that is a good one for. I think you should definitely watch that one. Oh, but you don't like watching things. I'm like, damn it.
I'll watch it for you.
That one though,
I don't
like
have HBO Max, but
they showed a blood clot. Like they were like, it was like some like. Women, we have things that happen to us, and blood clots are a thing, and it's so like that was something that was I've never seen that on TV, and so I was just like, wow, shout out to them, like that's huge, you know. So
yeah, because it's something that we literally see every month for like 30 years of however long in our life, and it's like this taboo thing that like most people who don't menstruate, like they have no idea what we go through. Like
that. I remember the episode was very like people were like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal. We all like, come on, like, what do you? Anyways, but that part was really like it stood out to me. Like I was just like, holy shit, you know, we're going there. We're sharing that. Okay, all right, I'm here. Let's do it. So, but yeah, masturbate, guys. You know, it's good for you. Like, go for it. You know what I mean? I personally use a wand, like a crystal wand. And
those look so funny to me.
Do they?
Because it's like the old style. Like,
it's literally like a crystal, like it's rock, like it's like a.
Oh, I thought you meant like the.
Oh,
wand.
the one, the white head.
Yeah, those are so.
I don't know how those work. They look like machines.
People like them. I've never used it.
I've never used it either. I think they're huge, aren't they?
I think it started as like an actual like massage thing, but then the ladies figured it out, and then now you can buy it at sex stores.
Yeah. It's like your class. It's like that big thing. It's got the white head.
Looks
and
like
it's
a microphone.
Yeah, it looks like a giant microphone. I'm like, y'all are rubbing your clit with that? That's a lot. Damn, she's been through some things, right? It's like, yeah, So, and that's another thing too. It's like, because back when I was living in Australia, I kind of joined this like tantric community. So I learned a lot about like tantric sex and like tantra. And one thing that they did say was like, oh, you know, like mechanical vibrational like toys. Like after a while, you probably shouldn't use them on your body in the sense of like if then your body's like trained to like only orgasm to these like little machines, you know, like which shout out to you, whatever, do you know, but you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever works for you. But they were like, no, like you need to do it like not without a machine. So like I kind of like got myself off, like weaned myself off like my vibrators, and so I kind of like went to like the crystal wand with like, you know, Aventurine. So like it's like a crystal that like I connect with, and like
sounds
so yeah,
beautiful.
and my orgasms were they're sickening with that. Like they're like so like they're different. I do notice that. So
interesting. Do you think it's the material?
I do. I feel like, and then the thing is like it's cold. It's a rock. It's a stone. Okay. So you do have to like kind of like have a little not ritual, but if you want to warm it up with your body heat and make it the same.
Because the glass ones you can microwave.
I guess you could if you're like impatient. I gotta get to it. Come on, microwave.
I guess unless there's like metal in the rock, right? Then you couldn't microwave it.
I don't know. I just personally wouldn't. I guess you could. It's a stone.
I don't know. Do stones? I think some stones have metal
sand,
in them,
right? You can warm sand up in the microwave, and that's basically just small rocks. You know how those are little bag fill things that you just throw in your microwave to like. Yeah. I think you guys don't listen. We ain't telling you to throw some rocks in your microwave because we don't fucking know.
This is Kimbology, not Kimbiology.
Okay, quite literally that. Okay. So yeah, I mean, but wands, I've been ever since I switched over. Like I definitely, and then plus I just been more hands on.
Yeah.
Too. But that's just my method. That's just my choice.
We built up all the strength in your upper arms from all the pole dancing, so you're like, we're good to go.
You're like, good, bitch.
So that's how you got so good at pole dancing.
You know, little flick of the wrist, you know what I'm saying? Little flick of the finger. I mean, literally, guys, that's another thing people don't know in pole dancing. Like, your forearm, this part of your body gets a workout. And I know men, when they masturbate or whatever, or people that have penises, in a sense, like that's like the majority of the motion. But I definitely I got y'all beat, guys, because pole definitely makes that body strong. So but yeah, when it comes to masturbating though, like, honestly, like, people have their rituals and things like that, but honestly, like, I definitely feel like a different feeling when I am high when I'm doing it. I think it's definitely different. But we lost. Oh, we're back. Okay. That's like a signal. It's a sign, like, wrap it up. No, but before we get deeper into masturbate, because we can talk all day about that, let's go into the last pillar, which is Medicate. And I'm really curious to what you're gonna want to talk about with Medicate, because you did say that you're not a cannabis consumer. So
correct. Yeah, with aviation, you really can't be.
Such a like I'm like sad for you.
Yeah, it's like a lot of pilots are advocating for like aviation or like pilot healthcare reform, because it's, if you have anything on your medical record of like depression or using certain medications, like, it can be really hard to get your pilot medical, which allows you to fly. So pilots have to be very, very careful with anything that they even tell healthcare professionals, which is not good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty problematic. So, and in general, like, I'm a very natural girly. So I don't use ibuprofen or Advil or anything like that.
Really?
Unless it's an extreme case and I have a random like rare headache or I'm hungover or something like that. Which, otherwise, like, I don't use anything. I'm a big believer in like naturopathic health, and not to say that medication with like marijuana and like pharmaceuticals aren't necessary in certain circumstances, but like, that is a very worst case absolute like need to use scenario. So I work with a holistic doctor, and I just earlier this year did I have an HSA, so I was able to do what is it called, a like gut, no, it's like it's called a gut test, where basically you send in your stool sample, which is hilarious because you have to like
oh my god,
side story, you have to like put a little hammock on your toilet.
Oh shit.
And you have to like
literally
plan for it, and then you shit on this hammock, and then you have this like test tube that has like a spork attached to the lid, and then you like unscrew it and you have to like spork chunks of your poop into this test tube. And there's like rules of like, you can't have too much or too little, so then if you do too much, you gotta
sign me out. What? This is cool. Wow.
Anyway, I think I've always thought poop is hilarious. So I was like sitting in the bathroom like gagging and like laughing hysterically, and my cats are like pawing at the door, and I'm just like,
they're like, what are you doing? You're like, I don't know.
I thought I was an adult, but I don't think I am anymore. I don't know. Anyway, so you send, it's a GI tract test.
Oh, okay.
So you send them your poo-poo, and then they test for like a bunch of different things, and they figure out, because I was having some just like general allergies, and
me too.
I was like, I don't want to take Claritin and things like that. Like, do I need to get allergy shots? Because I have 2 kitties, and my doctor was like, well, the allergy shots often aren't super effective, and they have some side effects. The reason that most people have allergies is because of your gut health being imbalanced. And so I was like, okay, I will say the GI tract thing is expensive. It's like $500, but I had an HSA, so I was like, cool, I'm not going to use this for anything else. Let's use it.
Okay.
And so yeah, for the past like 3 months, I've been on like a kind of a special diet of like no, and I've been lenient, but like for the most part, no gluten, dairy, alcohol, caffeine, or sugar.
That's
like
hard.
Processed sugar.
That's hard.
It is, unless you don't like cooking, and then it makes things really easy.
Oh, really?
So like 2 main things I'm supposed to eat are beans or like cooled rice and cooled potatoes, because when they're starchy, and when you cook them and then they cool, they like quadruple a certain level of their starch, which is good for your lower intestine to process.
Interesting.
Food is crazy. There's a lot of chemistry and stuff to it.
So when it's colder?
Yeah,
Not
so
hot?
after you can cook it, and then once it's cooled once, then it multiplies this certain type of starch that's good for your that like only your lower intestine can digest.
Like
yeah.
what?
Crazy. Anyway, so I've been working. They got the test results back, and I had like candida and like, which is like a type of yeast overgrowth, and then like black mold in my tissue. And like I've been in some, so I've been exposed to mold, and basically it won't go away until you like make it go away. And so I've been on like some probiotics and just some different like vitamins and supplements and stuff like that.
Dude,
and
I'm like tripping right now. I'm like, do I need to do this?
yeah, and it's been, I was like, let's try this first, and if it doesn't work, like, great, then we'll move on to the allergy shots or something more, like, less natural, and that's fine, but, like, let's start with this and see where it goes, and, like, my allergies are completely different. Like,
Really?
not that I don't have them, but, well, so I did the gut zoomer, and then I also did, what's it called, lymphatic drainage. So I go to a lady, and she like does these little bitty massages on your lymph zones, which is like in your neck, your chest, your stomach, and then your knees, and she feels your lymphatic whatever tubes, I don't know what they are, and finds where they're clogged and like helps get them unclogged. So there was like, I don't know, like I did 6 sessions, and she like fixed it all, and after each session she was like, you'll probably feel like dehydrated, you have to go to the bathroom, you'll like be able to feel drainage, and it was all super true. Like,
Wow.
I could it felt like somebody had like turned on a faucet in my like sinuses.
Oh, that's what I need to get that shit out.
It was, and so now I do that every like 6 months, and complete game changer.
Bailey, this sounds like I need to do both. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so even like when I have a day where I would probably have really bad allergies,
Yeah.
I can feel my lymphatic system like draining instead of getting like really clogged up and like a bloated head.
Yeah.
Instead of that happening, I can sense that my body is working, but it's actually working properly.
And just because you got
draining
that
everything.
massage, that lymphatic massage?
I think, yeah, that was a big part of it. And then like with my cats and allergies and stuff, like
yeah.
I don't, because I was having weird allergies to things like eggplant and garlic. Like
After you eat it?
yeah, I like couldn't eat eggplant or garlic because
What was happening to you?
my stomach would get like really bloated and like gurgly, and then
Okay.
I'd have like real stinky poops and like just not good.
Okay, so you know your body's just like not.
It was very distinctly
Yeah.
different. Of, like garlic and eggplant were just like I couldn't eat those. And I was like,
wild, 'cause-
that's super random.
So for me, my face has been swelling up. It's weird.
from like what?
Like I've been taking, like, I don't know, like I still haven't figured out like what makes my, and I swear to God, like I thought it was my lip gloss for a while. I was like, oh, because I thought it was like my lips just swelling up,
Yeah.
and then it would progress to like my cheek,
Oh.
you know, and then I was like, okay, what's going on? Then I would take Benadryl, and then it would stop, or I would take Zyrtec, and just like, so I was like, I didn't know what the fuck it was. I don't know what it was. I still don't know. Like, so, and then the fact that like when I wake up in the morning, like I'm always super congested. Like,
Yeah.
just I feel it in my head. It's all like in my nose and in my back of my throat. It's like every day. Like, so this sounds like I need to do it. Like, it sounds like it's like backed up, you know, it needs to just be released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like even now, I think it's been about, after I did the first couple of sessions to like clean everything out, she was like, come back every like, 3 to 6 months. And like now I can even feel myself, I'm a little bit more like mucusy. So I'm like, I need to schedule an appointment and get back into her because now I know what my normal should be. And I'm starting to get like more clogged again. Probably because, like she said, around allergy season, or if you get sick, then that's gonna, just like any kind of drain, it's gonna get clogged if there's too much stuff coming into it.
And then you get headaches, or like you feel pressure. Mm-hmm. Dude, this is, seriously, I need to book a session and like fucking do that because it's needed. Like I feel all that. Like,
Well, and I asked her, I was like, everyone should be doing this, and unfortunately, like
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I don't think insurance covers it. And so I asked her,
Yeah.
like, so who does this? Because feel super fortunate that I was able to do
Yeah.
this. But actually, a lot of people who do it are cancer patients because their system is working to get rid of toxins and, the lymphatic system, it plays a big role in cancer. If cancer gets to your lymphatic system, that's super serious because then it can travel to the rest of your body. So a lot of people, either if they're sick, so if you're like really sick and stuffed up, you can go and get drainage and that'll help you get better faster because your body's able to get rid of the toxins.
Okay.
But also for things like cancer, if you're going through chemotherapy or whatever.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on now, Bailey. Dropping the gems, dropping the knowledge on us, okay? Like, quite literally. Like, I honestly, like, I'm seriously gonna, like, book a session to do that. Because I everything you were saying, I could relate. Mm-hmm. Like, we have Georgie. Like, you know, and I'm allergic to him. Mm-hmm. But I love him. I'm not getting rid of him. What? I'll just suffer.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Like, I go to people's houses, they're like, are you allergic to cats? And I'm like, yeah. But it's worth it.
Right. Like, I love him. I'm not getting, like, I want more cats. Like, it's not happening. I have carpet, so that doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't have carpet for that reason. And I only have, like, leather and wood, so it can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's just, yeah, it's definitely something that and the fact that this summer, and, like, usually for me, my high allergy season is when when the kids go back to school. So that August, that, like, shifting from summer to fall. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Girl, it fucks with your girl so hard.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And
so
it can be, like, debilitating. Like, I've had days where I'm, like, on the couch just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go anywhere or do anything.
Nah. And then, like, I can't sleep because if, like, all the drainage, like, I have to, like, sit up because otherwise I'll, like, back up and I can't, like, it's a thing. It's a fucking
it affects
thing.
your whole life.
Totally. So one thing I do for myself is I have an acupuncturist that I see regularly.
I've never done that.
Oh my God. Dr. Kim, shout out to Dr. Kim. He's the best.
Is it just because his name is Kim?
Huh?
Is it just because his name is Kim?
Probably. Like, I'm like, okay, Dr. Kim. I just love saying,
You're
like,
all
okay,
great.
Dr. Kim, okay. Quite like his dad did it too. So he's like a generational, you know, acupuncturist specialist. You know, he's Korean. He's like, he knows this, and he's like very. Like, he's very conscious of, like, okay, you need my services, cool. Like, you don't have to have insurance and all this, you know what I mean? And he's not super expensive. He's super affordable. Like, I love him. And, like, honestly, like, if I didn't see him regularly and my massage therapist, like, I would not be okay. Quite literally. So
yeah, massage is also, I mean, the lymphatic is like part of it where it's massaging a super specific part of your body, but yeah, I want to get to a point financially where I can afford to have massage as part of my healthcare.
It needs, right? It's like, I feel like that's not fair that, like, we get these, like, when you're in a job and you get these health systems or health care packages, it's like, give me a motherfucking massage, you know? Like,
it shouldn't be a luxury.
It's not, right.
It should be part of healthcare.
Like, once a month should be in that shit. Like, and you're with, you know what I mean? Like, part of the package. Like,
because your muscles, like, store, I mean, this is a whole other thing, but, like, your muscles store toxins and trauma and, like,
stress.
We all know when you're stressed and you have knots in your back, that's literally, like,
yeah,
you can have that fixed by going to a massage therapist.
Yeah. Like, it should be a regular thing. Like, whatever you need to, like, get moving in your body. Like, I think that at the end of the day, because of some of these jobs that were sedentary, what is it, sedentary? I can never say that word. What? Sedentary, whatever. You're just sitting for long periods of time. I was a graphic designer too, so, like, I would just sit at my desk and just fucking make graphics and shit. And it's just like, oh, I haven't got up or peed or ate anything in, like, 4 hours. Like, oh, I should probably move. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
our bodies are not made to sit all the time.
No.
Which, on a similar note, for both Medicate and Medicate on this is King Spa we've talked about.
Shout out to the sanctuary that is King Spa.
And you haven't done one of their massages before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
I have.
Yeah, that is one of those ones where you're going to take a beating.
Oh, but beat me up. Go ahead.
Beat me up.
Yeah, I will, stand on me. I don't care.
I describe it as that you're a fish at a fish market, and you're going to be thrown around. You're going to have water dumped on you. Are you talking about the scrub? It's like, what's like the scrub massage? It's like
the golden one. Yeah. Oh, bitch, that shit is so good. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, there's a place called King Spa. I kind of don't even want to plug it because I don't want you guys to go because it's honestly like I don't want it to. It's always busy now.
Go on the weekends.
Yeah, go on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd be damned.
Don't go during the weeknights. Right. It's terrible.
Right. Don't do that. You know, like, because literally that place now is so popular. There's so many people now. I'm like, ugh. You know, I'm like, go home. Like, but it's like, so you can get this, like, scrub, but they do multiple things in the scrub. They fucking wash your hair and scrub your scalp.
You get like several face washes.
Yeah.
And, like, clay on your face.
Yeah. You get like 12 layers of skin like scrubbed off you. It's amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's so great.
And the
So-
women who do it are super women. My last
Shout out to
woman
them.
was pregnant. I'm pretty positive.
And oh my god.
She was like rubbing my head and stuff, and I could like feel her baby bump, and I'm like, teamwork back there.
So do I tip both y'all or just?
She had the strength of two. I swear to God,
Yo, that baby was helping.
I was so sore for a week afterward.
That baby was helping. Okay.
But also, like, for the meditate aspect, like, that's one of the few places where I can go and truly meditate.
Hell yeah.
Like, you go, you leave your phone, you're like in this whole other world. You leave your
Yeah.
phone in your locker or your car, and you're just in this weird little, like...
Don't go, guys. It's not great.
No, it's terrible. No.
Don't go.
You have to wear these weird scrubs that are so comfy and cute.
Oh my god. I used to hate it when I first got there because I was like, but then I was like, wait, give me that.
Yeah.
Do you like that hot ass like oven in the middle of the room? Like, do you like going in that the hot oven? Yeah.
Yeah, I was the kid on the playground who would like to lay. I grew up like in the desert area, so I would like lay on the like burning hot rocks and just let it, like melt my skin and be like, yeah.
Oh, so you be in there fight because that's the thing. You go in there and you be battling it out with people and they're like, no, I'm not leaving. You know, you be like, I'm staying here longer and shit. I'm like, all right, guys. All right, you want to faint? Get the fuck out of here. You know, like I'll go in there, I'll do my
not
business.
dragging you out.
Like right, like it's not that deep, you know. But I'll go in there and I'll be sitting there. I'm like, all right, it's time. But there be niggas in there like, I'm like, okay, all right, like go off.
What
You're
about the ice
beating
room?
me.
Do you go in the ice room?
Hell yeah. So I'll go in there and I'll go immediately in the ice room, like just to like that hot, cold.
Yeah.
I mean, like my body gets a beating from pole. Like I go there regularly because it's like I need to, you know, and it's like, you know, readily affordable, obviously, in the sense of like can't be going to the fucking Air. What's the other one? Air.
Oh, yeah, no, never been.
There's
but-
another like there's like this really bougie one in Chicago called Air. And it's like I can't afford that
Yeah,
shit.
you guys should go there instead.
Yeah,
It's
go
much
there. It's
better.
great. Yeah.
Okay, and I heard recently there's this thread on Reddit.
Oh,
What is the best room in Chicago King Spot to sleep in?
Okay.
There's apparently like a unanimous answer, and I agreed.
The oxygen room.
Yep.
What is
like
with that?
everyone on
Yeah, I
Reddit
love
was
napping
like,
in the oxygen room.
That's where you go.
That's crazy.
I think it's because they're pumping oxygen in, so you just feel better afterwards.
Yeah, it's like when you walk in there, it's like it feels like you're in a cloud a little bit.
You're like floating.
Yeah, that's literally like that's crazy that everybody said the same thing.
Yeah.
I need to join the Reddit thread on King Squad Reddit thread.
I know. I need to find this. and be like,
Yeah.
yes. Up.
I mean, I'm not trying to like get freaky with y'all at the King Spot because I know some of y'all do it, but shout out to y'all. But no judgies. This has been really fun, Bailey. I seriously can like sit here and talk to you forever, but I think this has been a really fun episode, fun filled. Thank you so much for coming on and
course.
doing Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate with us, for coming over and doing my breast mold, and I can't wait to get into Candle Tit, guys. Oh my god, it's so exciting. I'll post it. So yeah, if you guys want to see the updates, we did do some footage of Bailey doing the whole process. So we'll be working on, you know, making a cute little reel or something for you guys so you guys can take a look. And yeah, it should be really fun. And yeah, is there anything you want to kind of like leave the people with, or like plug things, or you know, tell people where to find you and all that fun stuff?
So you can find me on my website, www.candletit.com. So CANDLETIT. Instagram, Candle Tit. TikTok, Candle Tit _LLC. The original one weirdly got deleted, I think, because it had tit in it.
Yeah.
But they let the LLC one slide. I don't know.
Because they say, oh, that's a business. Okay, we want money. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, you can share your breast story, chest story on my website as well. So love sharing those stories. I think they're really empowering.
I love that.
I feel like there was something else that I told you earlier where I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna plug that.
You are you doing any collaborations or any sort of upcoming?
I will be doing a collaboration. Just talked with her today, 20 some. We're going to be doing some cards and some stickers, but that'll be
Cute.
dropping in like January. So
Oh,
it's a little ways
speaking
from
of.
now. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, so I did my breast session with Bailey, and so you guys get all this super cute, and I love, can you share, because so all of your merch is like super like mindful and intentional. So what did you say about this one here?
Yeah. So, doing marketing, I wanted to make sure that everything, like, is as sustainable and ethical as possible. So if I created marketing materials, I wanted it to be something that people would want to keep and would have a purpose. So this one is a breast self-exam card that you can hang in your bathroom or, wherever is a regular reminder to do a self-exam. Oh, yeah, that was it. So there's a campaign called Feel It on the 1st, and it's a reminder to do self-exams on the 1st of every month. You can look up some videos on how to do that. This is just a simple little drawing, but there's like better resources for how to actually do a self-exam card. But basically, I have my amazing designer, Chelsea Tams of Lettering Works, helped me design these. And so there's room on here on the back, and so I always send these to my customs clients and people who order online, and it has more information on self-exams here with a resource. What else we got?
You have your pins.
Well, we got some cute titty pins.
Super cute.
We've got, so this is another kind of branding piece. I hand these out. It's a 5x7 that can be framed. It's the same design as the sweatshirt. So if you aren't able to buy the sweatshirt, or maybe you don't want a sweatshirt but you'd like the design, then I hand these out for free because I think it's important for everyone to have these daily reminders that all diverse bodies, all the diverse titties are beautiful and we should love them. And then on the back, there's information on custom molding sessions with a quote from a client, my website, Instagram, email, and then more information on the stuff that I sell and do.
Yeah, we got a cute patch here.
Little patch.
Who doesn't love a patch?
Yeah.
Your girl. And then a nice sticker.
Sticker, yeah. I ran out of other stickers. I was going to give you more, but
super cute. No, this is awesome. I'm super happy, and I love honestly because it was funny because my shout out to my sister-in-law Rosa, she literally just told me because she's also an ultrasound technician, and she was like, make sure you're checking your breasts. And so I literally was like, how on brand, and how it was literally just a form of topic recently. So check your breasts, everyone, right? I would say it doesn't matter,
across
man.
the gender spectrum.
Yeah,
everyone,
all genders.
Anyone can get breast cancer. Men, women, non-binary, trans. We all have some similar anatomy that can lead to breast cancer, and a lot of people who discover they have breast cancer do so by doing self-exams. So they're super important. Encourage your friends to do it, and do it regularly, monthly, because our bodies do change, and it's important to know your normal, which is another great campaign.
Oh yeah, know your normal. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bailey, this has been awesome. I seriously, this is first of all, we've been trying to do this for a while now, and we finally got to doing it. We're just, life be lifing.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so happy that you were here. I'm so happy we were finally able to do the session. I'm so happy we were doing the show, and I'm just so happy that you were just able to share your journey and just all your knowledge to the guests and the listeners, because I think that this one here has lots of gems. So stay tuned for some more, fun content that we're going to put together. Again, you'll see my candles coming out. I want to make one, get that going. And we'll work on that. We'll post that. And yeah. Oh, I did want to remind people though, if you are watching, that I do have a event next week. It's on the 28th. It's Thursday. And so, as you guys know, I am a cultivator, so I grow cannabis, and I am creating a safe space for the queer community, women, and non-binary people to learn how to grow weed, And so I'm a self-taught grower myself, but I'm all about sensory learning. So I'm going to bring in all these sensory stations, so you'll get to feel, touch, smell, talk to the plants. It'll be great. Learn more about it on that level. And then also it's Croptober, so I'll be bringing you guys into the later stages of growing cannabis. Plus we'll have our sponsors in the building, or we'll have a lot of goodie bags, and we'll have a raffle and vendors on site. And then and then also we'll have curated cocktails, which will be infused, so you'll also get to consume as well. So you'll get to be high, learn a little bit, mingle. It'll be fun. So if you are free on the 28th, come and see your girl. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was a blast.
And that's it, guys. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Toodaloo.
This was fun. Yay. Cool. Good job.
We did it.
We did it. Oh my God.
You are now
It took us
listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.